Hello, welcome back. Today I'm building a Mini, a 1/43rd kit from Hella, specifically as 621 AOK, first ever Mini. Let's see how I get on. So firstly, this kit is a Mark II Mini, so there's a few things that need to be changed, such as the side markers. Make sure to smooth those down as best as possible. And there's a bit of a mould seam on top of the front wings here. Now, unlike when I made this before, I think it's better to attach this rear boot section before painting. It's also a little bit of modification because the early ones had this kind of light section underneath the number plate instead of above. So I clip it off, sand it flat, and then glue it back on underneath. This will need to be painted black, but I'll do it later after attaching the decals. Also, the original Mini had these external door hinges, so I cut out some very thin pieces of sheet styrene, cut them to length and glued them into place. Pretty happy with that. Then it was time to attach the rear boot. As you can see, the radiator grille is the second generation, more sort of angular version, so I tried to cut that down and sand it flat as best as possible. The car was primed in white automotive primer from Halfords. And then this car is kind of Old English white, but the nearest I could find in a spray can from Tamiya was this Honda Racing White. It's also a slightly off-white, creamy colour. I also got this Vallejo chrome paint to do the bumpers and headlights. The interior has a central rev counter, unlike the left-hand drive one that came in the kit, so I cut that one out, tried to sand it flat as best as possible, and then put a piece of sheet styrene into place to cover the hole. That was then cemented into place and a bit of putty was added to the back side of it. Then, to create the clock in the centre, I cut out a piece of the sprue, sanded it flat, and it was pretty much exactly the right size. This was then primed and painted in the same colour. The interior is a mixture of matte red and a kind of mottled grey. I sort of dry brushed on some grey for the seat pattern. It's not perfect, but I think it looks alright. There we are, the gear stick done in black, and the steering wheel done in black as well, with a small red dot in the middle. Had a spare decal for the clock, which I added here, and then the dashboard clips into place quite simply. Little exhaust that goes on at the back, and then the wheel axles go on the inside like so. Bridge things over the top to hold them into place. These could roll if you wanted them to. Next was to add the Morris badge, which I printed off myself. Used a bit of Mr. Mark Setter to help that adhere and then rolled it flat. Number plate, also printed at home by me, went on the back, Now, the radiator is much simpler than the later version. I was able to find a drawing of it, which I cut to size and then added as a decal to the front. I then bent some silver jeweler's wire to the correct sort of shape for the radiator surround. That was super glued into place. I wasn't happy with the fuel cap cover, so I made a little hole where it should go. And then I found a small round chrome part in the spares box, which was the perfect size for the fuel cap from this kind of Mini. Painted the rear light and then added the side windows in with some super glue from the inside. Found they needed to be sanded down a little bit as they were slightly too big. Did the rear view mirror and the rubber surround in black Sharpie. And this just clips into place with no need for any glue. There we are. There is an engine in this, although you won't see it once it's all in place. Just giving it a little test fit. Chrome trim to the bottom of the doors and the wheel arches using Molotow chrome. Wheels were all done in matte black. Sandwiched them together like so. And then the wheel centres were done in the same Honda Racing white. To add the hubcaps, I put some aluminium tape onto this sheet styrene and hole punched them. However, I found these hubs to be slightly too big. Fortunately, they were just attached with some blue tack, so I'll change them like so. I bought this mechanical hole puncher, which has adjustable circle sizes. I used this to make a 3.5mm wide hole, which was much closer to the correct size of the chrome hubcaps. I'm pretty happy with the new radiator surround. So then it was time to put all of these parts together. Headlights were made up of the chrome surround and then a small clear lens in the centre. I used a little bit of foam safe superglue to attach these. Rear bumper went on like so. No glue required for these. Number plates now added, and the indicators as well. Now the rear lights are much smaller on the original car, so I found some smaller lights in the spare box. The backs of these were coloured silver and then the front done in orange and red clear. I think that's much more like the original Mini. And there's the smaller hubcaps as well. And here it is with its big brother. I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. I think it's better than the one I did last time. I'm a big fan of the Mini, thinking that it's probably the most iconic British car. Let me know what you think. Have you built this kit? Do you have a favourite Mini? Just coming up to the 60th anniversary of its first win at the Rally de Monte Carlo. Let me know what you think. Do you like these 1/43rd scale builds? Let me know in the comments. You can see the first ever Mini for yourself at the British Motor Museum in Gaydon, Warwickshire, England. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you soon.